What's up, everyone? I'm Taylor, and this week is extra special because I have a handful of high school graduates joining me right here in studio to honor the class of 2021. So let's get right to it.
It's time for the weekly rundown.
So we thought the class of 2020 had it weird, but the class of 2021 had it even weirder. Not only were they sent home halfway through their junior year, but their entire senior year was just a question of, will we ever get back to the classroom? Here's a look at what they had to go through.
Well, the upcoming school year is in limbo.
This upcoming year is going to look very different from the last for our kids.
The rest of the academic year is in jeopardy.
It is pretty eerie being on a high school campus that has no students.
Desert Sands and Coachella Valley Unified School Districts are meeting this evening to present and study how to reopen schools safely.
The Coachella Valley Unified School District Board of Education votes against the plan to return kids on April 19th.
Today we learned that college admissions are changing to help those students.
Desert Sands is considering increasing the number of days students are back on campus.
April 30th, that's supposed to be the day that campuses can reopen. Will it have to be extended? Most local districts are thinking it will.
Tonight, more public schools are finally welcoming students back on campus more days a week.
Desert Sands students are now back on campus 4 days a week.
No district has a set answer for graduation.
What a year these students have. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm gonna have you go ahead and introduce yourselves and tell everybody what school you just graduated from.
My name's Alyssa Torres, and I just graduated from La Quinta High School.
My name's Veronica Gutierrez, and I graduated from Palm Springs High School.
My name is Kobe Sanders, and I graduated from Coachella Valley High School.
My name is Alexa Avila, and I graduated from Cathedral City High School.
My name is Sergio Casarrubias, and I graduated from Indio High School.
Well, first of all, congratulations to all of you. I mean, seriously, making it through a school year like this, props, because I would have been so stressed, honestly, the whole school year. So let's kind of talk about some of the things that you guys had to go through. What was it like, first of all, just being virtual for almost a year and a half? Who wants to give this one a shot?
I think being virtual for my the entirety of my senior year was really a downer because that whole senior experience, getting to be on campus, like ruling the whole school basically as a senior, that experience just got thrown out the window. And classes were harder because you couldn't go to teacher in person. I mean, there were office hours and everything, but that doesn't emulate the same experience. So for me, at least, it was very much disappointing.
Yeah, and going off of that, I mean, let's talk about senior events, not even completely senior events. We have pep rallies, we have prom. Let's kind of dig into some of those and what it was like for you guys.
I can talk about prom because I know our ASB, we were planning events even though they're like, okay, we don't know if we're gonna do it. And then they're like, yeah, go ahead, green light. And then it was like, oh, never mind, kind of step back. So it was kind of like an uphill battle, but we did make it. And we were lucky enough at La Quinta to have a prom actually. Well, it was a senior formal, but yeah.
So who actually had a prom? You had a prom?
It's like a senior formal.
So, yeah, wait, was that in school in general, or was that your decision to not go? Or your school just didn't have one?
My school
didn't have one.
My school had one that accommodated COVID. They had a drive-through prom, but for me, I didn't think it was worth it because you had to stay in your car and you couldn't go to other people's cars. So it wasn't the same experience as a real prom. Right. So I out of my will, I just didn't go to that.
Veering off prom and talking more general, I mean, this applies for anyone who was in school this year. What about pep rallies? I remember how excited I used to be for pep rallies. You guys are marching band. Pep rallies are huge for you guys as well. What was that like?
Yeah, I can take that one. So for pep rallies, since I'm part of the ASB, we did virtual pep rallies. We had about 3, I think, and they actually turned out pretty good. Each club and everything sent in their own video. And ASB, we even did our battle cry. We all sent our videos and it was pretty cool. We had the Impact program help us edit it. We sent it out to the students in our morning broadcast and it was pretty successful. Oh. And for the marching band, the drumline actually sent in videos. So we still got some drumming.
That's a good idea. Yeah, see, I didn't hear about that. A lot of people watching this at home, they don't know exactly what you guys went through as far as all of these events and, all of that. So this is something I've kind of been itching to ask your, I don't want to say generation, but your class. What about your social life? So I think a lot of us at home, we were we need to socialize, not just the kids, but I mean everyone, like parents, me, you, we need to socialize. So how did you guys go about that? Were you working jobs where you were still able to socialize outside? Were you still hanging out with your friends? Were you having Zoom parties? How did you cope with that?
I think like for me, I did a lot of community service events, and so with doing that, I was able to kind of like socialize with people, and I was able to actually like give back at the same time. But other than that, it was kind of hard having a social life while being in the pandemic, because I know like I was kind of worried about going out, and COVID is a scary thing, so I just didn't want to risk bringing it home. So kind of social life depleted, but at the same time, there was good that came out of it.
Did you guys feel like your screen time went up?
Definitely.
I know all of our screen time is probably crazy as it is, especially us. But I can imagine how much you were on your phones. And I mean, I want to hear more about your socialization. Like someone else.
For me, it was a lot of just talking on the phone with my friends and, you know, finding ways to do things virtually, because for a long time until like everybody got vaccinated, I know that everyone in my family and my friends are vaccinated. We didn't really have much to do because you couldn't go out to eat, you couldn't go basically do anything. So a lot of interaction took place online.
Right. Did any of you work jobs during the pandemic?
Oh, I did.
You did?
I did for the first part of the pandemic, and it was just, I had an entire month off of work. And I can tell that it was a really big toll on me and like my coworkers. I hadn't been able to see them, especially because I got along so well with them. And it also made other social interactions more difficult because customers are, you know, angry about like all the restrictions and everything. So I understand that it was very difficult for everybody.
So for a little there, not only were you not able to go to school, but your other way of socializing, which was your job, was also like tore from you.
Yeah.
Man, this is just, you know, it's been hard for everyone, but you guys, I mean, look, you're here. You got through it. There's so much more to come. And speaking of more to come, college is coming. I mean, you're all starting college in just a couple months. Let's tell everyone exactly where you're going and what your plans are.
I'm going to Cal State San Marcos, and I'm a major in criminology and criminal justice.
I'm going to Vanguard University, and I'm going to major in psychology.
I'm going to UCLA. I'm going to be majoring in music education.
I'll be going to USC, and I'm majoring communications.
I'm going to UC Santa Cruz, and I'm majoring in theater arts.
Awesome students we have here. Seriously, so awesome. Speaking of college, how was that process and applying? And I know SATs were postponed. Let's kind of tell everyone just how hard that process was versus like when I had to go through it.
I remember in May, I'm also in my AVID program at school, and so that's all about college readiness. We were prepping to register for the SAT, but each and every registration got canceled, and so after we found out that the UC system wasn't going to be accepting test scores, we just didn't take it at all. Also, like in terms of college applications and the college application process, since I'm a music major, I also have to send in auditions and do interviews. And usually when you're a music major, you have to go to the school and audition at the school itself in front of judges. But I had to do it at home, and my home is not really a space for like making music or like that type of environment. So it was really hard to find a space for that. And doing my interviews, it was like really hard. But I'm just glad that I got through that.
Yeah, congratulations to you. I mean, that's not an easy process, that's for sure. Did anyone else have, I mean, I know it was all funky, but anything that like happened during your process that you want to share?
I think that with the exemption of test scores and whatever else, it made it a lot easier for more people to apply to schools that they had never even thought of applying to before. I know that was the case for me, and that was kind of something that was holding some people back. And so I think it was kind of a good thing that resulted from the pandemic, that maybe you could send them in if you wanted, but if you didn't want to, you didn't have to. So I think that opened a lot of doors for people.
Oh, that is definitely something I didn't even think of. See, like, this is something us at home or, you know, through the TV that we don't think of. You guys are going through it firsthand. So it's good that you're telling us. But I do want to mention one CVUSD student, Elizabeth Esteban. She went viral this year after being accepted to Harvard. And so we're going to share her story right now.
Elizabeth Esteban's mother's first language is the Purepucha dialect from Michoacan, Mexico. She's expressing how proud she is of her daughter for being accepted to Harvard on a full ride scholarship.
Well, I felt proud and scared and excited, every sort of emotion, because I never would have believed that a person like me would have been able to been accepted to a prestigious university.
Elizabeth lives in a mobile home in Mecca, and her parents are two of hundreds of members of the indigenous tribe who migrated to the far eastern Coachella Valley for a better life.
Working hard in the fields is worth it. And now it's even more worth it because my daughter has accomplished what she's dreamt about. I'm so proud.
But it almost didn't happen. Elizabeth says she was plagued with internet issues in Mecca that made it hard to learn virtually. And she almost lost her chance at Harvard altogether when her internet gave out during her interview with the university.
I also received an internet device from the district, and most of the times my screen was like a circle just trying to reconnect.
Elizabeth says she was so discouraged she even considered not applying to Harvard at all because she is Latina and from an underserved community. Harvard's acceptance rate is 3% and only 10% of the student population is Hispanic.
I'm part of an indigenous group that feels that women should stay at home and be the stereotypical stay-at-home mother later on in the future, and I just wanted to break those barriers.
And she has. Elizabeth is setting her sights high from being the guest of a congressman in Washington, D.C.
I'm Congressman Dr. Raul Ruiz, and I'm here with Elizabeth Esteban.
To maybe one day running for Congress herself. For NBC Palm Springs, I'm Regina Urita.
And as we head to break, here's a taste of graduation ceremonies from all around PSUSD.
It took a village to get us to where we are at right now, from teachers shaping us into responsible students to our parents supporting all the crazy decisions we made. But right now, in this very moment, you are graduating and you are present.
The way in which we made it here does not matter. Our graduation is a celebration of the fact that we did make it here. And we did make it, so let's celebrate.
On behalf of the Governing Board of the Palm Springs Unified School District, it is my honor to accept this class and authorize the awarding of the diplomas. Congratulations, graduates. We're so very proud of you.
Congratulations, class of 2021. The weekly rundown will be right back.
Welcome back to Weekly Rundown, Graduation Edition. So one thing I want to talk about is sports. I personally think my favorite thing about high school was not only game days as an athlete, but going to support my fellow classmates was always so fun. And like everything else, high school sports was far from normal this year. Let's get right into that. What were your guys' experience like with this? I know marching band was definitely affected.
Since my whole school was locked down for the entirety of senior year, we couldn't go to football games or any other sports games. So literally the whole activity for me, it just went down the drain and we couldn't do anything. Like we did have class, we did like submit video assignments or something, but we couldn't go to football games or basketball games to do all the other fun stuff that we would usually do during a normal year.
What about you?
Yeah, same thing here at Indio, but our teacher did give us smart music assignments. It was a program he bought, and we actually had our marching band show through that program, and we all sent in videos, and we put it together.
Creativity. And then you were sports medicine, so.
I think that was different in itself. Like we had a lot of protocols before because obviously safety and whatnot, and then we had like a bunch others added onto it. And then it went from like 1 week we had, because there's only 5-week games, we went 1 week having no one in the stands and some parents, and it was really like quiet, and I felt really bad for the boys. And then it went to being able to have people in the stands. Luckily for our rival game, we got lucky there, but it was different completely in the fall, and then in the spring things started lifting up. So team managing for baseball was, there was a lot more people able to go out, and there was a lot more people able to do things. So it was definitely a different year though, for sure.
Yeah. What about just like as a student getting to go to the games, whether it be like basketball? I know football is always the big one, but baseball, I mean, what about you guys?
It was completely different, to be honest. I think as a student athlete in my previous years, I had to make the decision on whether or not I wanted to stay in small groups or not, getting that extra help in school, or going to play a sport that I liked. I was playing soccer and I was doing track, and it was very difficult to have to choose small groups. So a lot of student athletes had that struggle this year.
Oh, man. Well, we do have a look at a few games from across the Coachella Valley this year.
I feel like it sets us back in a way that every other state is being able to send out their film. And so it's not giving a bunch of these SoCal athletes like a chance to put themselves out there, and they just have to send 7-on-7 film or videos of them working out at home or something. But coaches want to see the real thing. Coaches want to see kids in pads hitting.
I've tried reaching out to colleges throughout Twitter, and I've tried filling out recruitment forms, but I've gotten the same response saying like,
most coaches, they'll either like respond back to me saying, oh, we can't offer you. It's getting really hard.
Huge news for high school student athletes today. The California Department of Public Health released updated sports guidance. It's official. Outdoor high school sports are making a comeback.
I'm really excited about it. Finally getting the news that we're going to be able to play. It's really awesome for me and all the guys down there.
All high schools in the Coachella Valley are simultaneously trying to bring back winter, spring, and even some fall sports.
Whatever we can do to, kind of get these kids back to a normal high school life.
As we head to break, here's a taste of graduation celebrations from the Desert Sands Unified School District.
I think it's appropriate to say that our motto was overcoming adversity and embracing the future.
We wish you all the best, and I know each and every one of us will achieve great things in this crazy life.
Thank you all for some of the greatest years of my life and making high school an absolute movie.
Thank you to the PDHS seniors for their patience, resiliency, and hard work through very difficult times this year.
The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. So dream big, class of 2021. Congratulations, class of
2021.
Welcome back to the Weekly Rundown. Dozens of graduates had the opportunity to participate in a virtual ceremony with graduates from across the country.
And some of our classmates were invited to virtually share the moment with Vice President Harris herself.
Hello and congratulations to the class of 2021. I am so proud of each and every one of you.
4 local students received one last honor before graduating high school. Ariana Castaneda Gutierrez of Indio High School, Elizabeth Esteban of Desert Mirage, Omar Bahena of Desert Hot Springs, and Emma Hernandez of Beaumont High were invited by Congressman Raul Ruiz to a special ceremony hosted by the Vice President with 300 students from around the country.
When I found out, I was so shocked because it was an invitation to see Kamala Harris.
I was really excited, and I ran to tell my parents that I was invited.
I was shocked because I didn't know, this is a huge opportunity.
It never occurred to me that it would be involving the vice president.
The students were featured in the background of Harris's nationally broadcasted event.
You will help determine what our world will look like on the other side.
Bahena taking in the experience from his school so he could share the moment with everyone who helped him get to this point.
I know that it was not only for me, but for other students as well who have gone through horrendous obstacles and hindrances throughout the year.
And words from the Vice President of the United States leaving lasting impressions as these students move to the next phase of their lives.
One thing that stood out to me is when she said, do not be limited in your view of who you are and what you can be in the future.
Sometimes we're going to be the only ones in the room that look like ourselves. Even if we're the first ones, make sure to not be the last ones. Bring other people with you.
And graduates, always know President Joe Biden and I and your country believes in you.
Congratulations, class of 2021. I'm so honored to be part of this class, and I know we're going to do amazing things.
I can't wait to see what you're going to accomplish in your future.
I wish you the best and always keep going. Que sí se puede.
What a cool experience. As we head to the break, here is just a taste of the graduating celebrations that we experienced at CVUSD.
High school prepares us for the real world, but it is up to us on how we decide to live it. It is our life, our dream, our future. Let's let the world know. I'm proud of us. Thanks to La Familia and the people that stayed by me, I made it. We all did. This is it, guys. Congratulations, class of 2021.
Welcome back to Weekly Rundown. As you've seen and heard, us 2021 graduates have had quite the interesting year.
Well, obviously, we weren't the only ones who had to deal with the unknown within school.
Each week and each day was a waiting game to see when we could return back to normal.
One Palm Desert teacher found a fun way to keep the spirits alive every single morning.
Check her out.
My name is Michelle Churland, and I am a teacher with Desert Sands Unified School District, and I've been teaching for 21 years. I was also in the Army for 24 years. I'm a mother of 2 boys, and I'm a bonus mom with 5 girls, and I'm a fur mom with 2 doggies.
On top of all of this, she's been dancing every day in her kitchen since the start of the school year.
I mean, how hard can that be? I was talking with a lot of my teacher friends, and we were all just so nervous. And I was just trying to get the jitters away from us.
Sometimes her hubby pops in.
You must whip it before the queen says not too long. You must whip it. My husband has been so supportive because a couple times I was like, forget it. I can't do it. It's a terrible, no good, very bad day. And then he stepped in, and then he joined me in a few because we'll drive down the road and we'll hear a song. We're like, oh my God, this is gonna be amazing.
Her post started on Facebook, but out of request, she now has an Instagram, a popular Instagram.
And then now I'm up to 10,000 people or something, and I'm all, oh my gosh. And when my son was just like, Mom, oh my God.
She's even been offered new pajamas.
My school kids are like, oh my gosh, you're an influencer. You're an influencer. And I'm thinking, yeah, I'm an influencer because every mom is an influencer. Every teacher is the OG of influencing. So yes.
With the school year winding down, so are her dancing days. Actually, with her groovy moves, her dancing days probably have a long ways to go.
I have my friends from high school, and I'm thinking, see, you should have taken me to prom.
Could you guys imagine dancing every single morning before school?
Props to her, she did it.
I mean, maybe not before school, but we could dance right here. We're gonna dance our way to break, but we'll be right back.
That's all we have for you today, but I thank these graduates for coming in and giving us all a little insight to the last year and a half of craziness that they had to deal with. But I think they have one more message for all the other graduates out there. Congrats, class of 2021! We did it! We'll see you next week.